Show, where conversation is art, 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 art. Conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what to spark on the Val Show. Ain't no telling the Val Show. You know, ain't no telling where we go on the Val Show. Ain't no ceiling, cause the art of conversation is the flow. It's that creativity available when we speak, available in our homes, available in the streets. We just trying to get it sparking and take it a little deeper. Keep it casual while fireside chatting with our people. Yeah, we take it a little deeper. It get hot when we fireside chatting with our people. Cause conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what'll spark on the Val, the Val and Val Show. The Val and Val Show.
Yo, 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 what's up?
What's up? What's up? We up in here. We up in
That's
here.
right. So, folks, I have missed y'all. I must give it up to Valerie. She held it down. She held it down. She held it down. Valerie, thank you so much for being a wonderful person, the wonderful person that you are, in that you did not miss a beat. You did not even bother me. You didn't call me to check on me to make sure there was still warm blood running through my veins. You just let me go all off and do my thing. And I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much.
Now you all don't believe that because you know, Val to know. I check on him and everything. I don't know why he gonna come on here. I ain't gonna say acting like that. You ain't acting. You acting.
Acting brand new.
Yeah, you acting real brand new.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's
look,
really
folk. Look, you all need to like and share. Tell your friends. They need to watch this show.
yeah.
Because we finna learn something tonight.
We finna light it up.
Light it up, light it up, light it up, up. Yeah. Okay, let me put a disclaimer. As we approach this subject, we do not endorse now. We are not encouraging anybody to run out in them streets. But we want you to be educated. And you might have an opportunity to get you at how many streams of income? They say we need 7. So you may be able to get you another stream of income. Although you may have to leave Alabama.
You may have to leave. You definitely will have to leave Alabama.
With everything. So look, you all, we have someone who describes herself as a serial entrepreneur and real estate investor. So y'all, you know, when you see serial entrepreneur and serial in front of something, that's serious right there.
Yeah.
So we have tonight someone who goes by her initials too, Miss Q, Nicole McNair, who owns and founded WH Farms. Hey there, beautiful. How you doing?
What's up, Q? We can't hear you, Q. Unmute us, Q. We still can't hear you, Q. Are you whispering to me? Q? Hello, Q.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, you were here earlier. Let's see. Your mic is disconnected. We still can't hear you.
Q,
she's gonna come back in.
Okay. All right,
so anyway, while she gets reconnected, you all. So what's been going on in y'all world? Welcome everyone.
LaSharie, we see you, girl. Q, you there? We still can't hear you.
We still can't hear you. I wonder what happened with your mic.
Interesting.
That is really interesting.
Did you log out and log back in?
Uh-huh.
Now she's frozen. No, we're all frozen.
She's not frozen, Valton. That's you freezing.
All right.
No, we cannot. Let me see.
Well, Q, that means we get to tell everybody about you, so you can just sit there and take it.
Check your volume and see if is it still connected to your. Are you connected to your mic? We were laughing and talking a few minutes ago.
Right. So your mic is lit. Now she's gone.
Yeah. No, what's going? That is strange, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
that we just got through. Hey, LaSherie. Hey, Carter.
Carter Law, what's up, my boy? LaSherie, darling, baby. Hey, hey, hey.
LaSherie, Valton was just telling us how he just work you down, just beat you
No, that's not
down at the
true.
camp.
That's not true. She enjoyed every minute. She enjoyed
He
every
even
minute.
listen. He even told the people, "I did not check on him."
Now I did say that. I said, you there? I don't get it. I don't understand why we can't have her on.
I'm telling you, that is crazy because we were just talking to her. Y'all bear with us because listen, I guess they don't want y'all to have these, what is it? The 7 streams of
Right.
income.
All right. I want you to
Might be
miss
the
out on
one.
one. There you are.
There we
Okay,
are.
there we
Yes.
I think
go.
we did it.
Hey,
Yes.
yeah. I said, now
We
what is
fixed
going
it.
on? Hey,
I
look, that's life.
Right.
Hey,
So, ladies
look,
and gentlemen, you want me to go ahead and do a quick introduction
yeah.
and you so, ladies and gentlemen, we have an entrepreneur tonight who is just simply fabulous. This is my first time meeting her, and once you find out the nature of her business, you're going to be blown away. Primarily by looking at her, you would think she's going to be talking to us about hair extensions and things of that nature, or teeth that are so white it almost blinds you by the light, or things of that nature. But anyway, Q Nicole McNair, we're
thank
so
you
glad
so
you are
much.
here. Thank
Thank
you, B, for
you.
being here.
Thank you so much for having me. And, I just appreciate everyone for giving us the patience during our technical difficulties. As mentioned, my name is Q Nicole, and I am the CEO and founder of WH Farms. And I actually am an industrial hemp cultivator. An industrial hemp is a strain of cannabis. And so I am in the cannabis industry and very passionate about the therapeutic benefits of cannabis, and I've created a business that allows other people to really plant their flag in the cannabis industry. A lot of my passion comes from my own advocacy for the plant, and I'm excited to share more information on to your audience about just this amazing industry.
Yeah, wonderful. So let's jump right in. So cannabis.
Cannabis.
Yeah, I'm not real educated on what cannabis is, but is that
Okay.
anything like marijuana?
Cannabis is an herb, right? That the actual scientific name is Cannabis sativa, but it has 2 species. One species is the marijuana plant. That species is marijuana because of the actual chemical amount of THC in that particular strain or species of cannabis. There's a second species, which is industrial hemp. Industrial hemp is one of the oldest commodity crops that's been in existence in America prior to English settlement. As a matter of fact, we grow and cultivate cannabis on African American legacy and Tuscaroran and indigenous legacy farmland, which means that we literally have reached back to the heritage of hemp cultivation. Tuscaroran means hemp gatherer. And so prior to English settlement in the region of North Carolina where we cultivate hemp, we actually are cultivating in a region that prior to English settlement, industrial hemp was being cultivated and exported from that region of North Carolina. So cannabis is in and of itself is a very broad name. It has been negatively associated with one species of the plant. But recently, because of the 2018 Farm Bill, the federal government reversed the decision that was made back in the late 30s to really dissect and separate hemp, industrial hemp, from the illegal characteristics of cannabis.
Okay.
Mm,
Look,
okay.
that was some good education.
There was
I've
a lot
learned
of
more than
history.
I ever
That was a
known
lot,
about.
right?
Well,
A
yeah,
lot of
well,
So we can go deep, but I just, to give context, this is a federally legal business. Industrial hemp is federally legal, even in Alabama. So
well,
CBD, that's hemp derived,
okay.
is federally legal in the United States.
I
Well,
would be
you know
glad
what
if
you
I can get
mentioned Native Americans. I grew up South Alabama with the
Okay.
Porch Creek Indians.
Mm.
So right there with them. And I know we used to what they used to say that's the Indian smoked. I'm assuming I don't know what's the
Absolutely.
other one. They smoked hemp or whatever it was they were smoking.
Absolutely.
some of that
It
Yeah.
people
is.
right. That's why they were so peaceful.
That is exactly why. I mean, if you look at social studies and you compare urban cities in America and perhaps the Netherlands, where you find that cannabis is legal, you don't find the same number of murders and the same amount of drug addiction and all of the social ills that come with some other vices that we don't, that we have regularly and not regulated as much. So, and one of the things that I really love about attaching or really identifying both African American and Native American history with this plant is that it really brings about the medicinal qualities. Everyone knows cannabis and Mary Jane and marijuana as a recreational plant. But what we've endeavored to do is not only educate our community on all of the therapeutic benefits of the cannabis plant, but really highlight how this really pre-exists modern medicine. And it's been in existence for a very long time. And it also works well with our bodies.
You know what, Q Nicole, interesting you would say that. I was having a conversation with someone just yesterday, and we were talking about how our ancestors used herbs and different things. I remember growing up one time, my dad would always have the flu. And my grandmother finally told my mom, she told her, go down in the woods, look for this particular tree, get these roots. And, me being a little girl, I had to taste it. It was the worst tasting thing. But my dad had died at 88, and he was probably in his 50s. He never, ever in his life had the flu ever again. And I was telling
That's
her,
amazing.
a lot of the things that our ancestors did, it's been stolen because that's where all these natural health stores and things that's been sold for millions and trillions of dollars are being sold. So, I mean, I'm just glad that you're here so that you can educate us. I know I'm an ER nurse. I'm going to share this. I just tell about them. I said, I used to say, God, why don't they make marijuana legal? Because I've never had to fight anybody that came into the ER and had wrecked, called a fight in a club or
Absolutely.
anywhere that had used marijuana. Every one of them had been drinking alcohol.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so many, again, social statistics support that. And that's one of the reasons why there's such a push toward legalization. I want to go back to something that you mentioned, though, about how our ancestors really were able to use the earth to heal and to bring about healing from what God gave us, and how they were able to curate these medicines, and how commercially now is being sold for millions and trillions. That is the exact reason why our first service to our community was a business launch kit, because we wanted to give our people an opportunity to take the same recipes and salves and hair oils and, edible recipes and, baked goods that they consume and they create commercially, and add CBD, something that heals us, something that's therapeutic, but also something that really is in demand nationwide and comes at a premium. And so it gives you an opportunity to really grow and create a viable revenue stream with this business. And so we, as a farm, wanted to offer people a chance to really plant their flag in the industry and be able to build and grow their own CBD brand.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you mentioned about how it's used to heal, and right immediately, being a nurse, ADHD pops into my mind.
Mhm.
I know seizures, neurological things.
Mhm.
Is there any data that shows that the hemp
Absolutely.
helps with those?
Absolutely. We have a blog on our website that goes over a number of case studies and scientific research that shows that the endocannabinoid system that all of us have as mammals, so humans and animals have this endocannabinoid system. It actually, we have these CB receptors that are transmuted throughout our bodies from the crown of our head to the soles of our feet. And CBD, the cannabidiol that we focus on extracting from our cannabis plant, it actually connects to those receptors throughout our body. So CBD helps with skin management. It helps with heart, cardiovascular health. It helps with pulmonary functionality. It helps with cardio. It helps with all types of things. It's an adaptogen for muscles. It, suppresses your appetite. It gives you all of these phenomenal health benefits, which is the reason why the industry is so large. This is why cannabis is really being legalized nationwide, because there's no longer an opportunity for just the fight against legalizing it for the anti-recreational purposes when it packs so many medicinal benefits.
Okay,
So when you
wow.
said that it is medicinal and it helps with heart disease or whatever, and pulmonary and all yada yada. So is that something you take by mouth, or is it something you puff give, or how do you get it into your system?
That's a great question. So there are a number of ways to consume cannabis. And for the purposes of this conversation, we are discussing hemp derived CBD, federally legal. And so you obviously, CBD or hemp derived CBD looks just like the marijuana plant. So you can roll it and you can smoke it. That really is great for anxiety relief, ADHD. It does give you, it's the fastest way to absorb the cannabinoids from the plant. It's the decarbing process. It's decarbing inside of whatever the actual, whatever you're using to pull, obviously, the flower with. The second fastest absorption happens with tincture, CBD oil tinctures. So those can be consumed sublingually. Pets can take them. You can also, every morning, I'm infamous for dropping 50 milligrams of tincture in my coffee. It's great for mental concentration and focus. It helps you to really, really calm and ease anxiety, especially during very high demand work days. If you find yourself just a little, unsettled a bit, just really consuming a bit of tincture, it absorbs really fast in your system. You can also consume edibles. So our company produces a THC-free gummy, but there are like brownies, gummies, other edibles that you can consume. That typically takes about 20 to 30 minutes to absorb. And most people are looking for faster relief. And so they go for, a gummy or a tincture or another way to consume that gives them fast absorption. Now, I mentioned all ingestibles, but our company also has body care products where you can consume your cannabinoids topically. Doesn't mix with your bloodstream. And so if you have pain in your neck or your shoulder, or you just need more mobility, perhaps in rotation in your arms, or if you just have problems sleeping, there are pain balms. We have a pain balm that you're actually able to apply topically and begin to feel the muscle relaxation and all of the stimulation to really help calm and relax you.
Wow. So does it smell like marijuana? The cream?
No. Actually, our pain balm smells like peppermint.
I bet it does.
And it's better than, I have to tell you, it's better than Icy Hot. It lasts longer. We formulated it to last longer than Icy Hot.
Okay, now, Nicole, when you said it smelled like peppermint, I'm gonna have to call my trainer because she gave me, I had some achiness, and she gave me it's a roll, and it smells like peppermint. She said, "This is something for your pain." Now I gotta see.
You gotta see.
It works. It works now.
Yeah.
Now I just gotta find out, is it CBD or not?
I got some several months ago, but I was so skeptical of the effects of it, I haven't used it. And I'm not talking about something I can roll and smoke. I'm just talking about a little oil.
Okay.
But you're actually telling me that stuff really works.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have so many testimonials. We have a client just a couple of weeks ago told us that she made a lotion for an elderly woman. And the testimonial was, "Baby, I could clap my hands in church on Sundays. I felt so good." The level of flexibility, and it really does like regenerate nerves, and it just helps to give you that mobility. My mother, who is now 76, but at 74, she had double knee replacement. And instead of opioids, she used our tincture to manage her pain. The CBD you will be surprised. And see, what most people are used to, again, from the cannabis industry is the recreational Mary Jane.
Right.
Mary Jane is one of the hundreds of cannabinoids that is inside of the cannabis plant, the THC chemical cannabinoid. CBD is like a brother. It's not a watered down version of. And that's one of the distinctions that we have to make with our community. When they hear CBD, they think that, oh, well, it doesn't have psychoactive qualities, so you can't get high. It doesn't have any sort of, it doesn't control the part of your brain that gives you munchies. It actually suppresses your appetite. So it's known to be used with weight loss. You can see the NFL has just donated $1 million to cannabis research for its players. So that shows the physical characteristics and the benefits that it offers from a physical fitness perspective. So we want to make sure people know the difference, because it's a very different product than what Snoop Dogg and all of the other guys introduced us to. It's very different from that.
Sugar. Hey, look, Q Nicole, you said to press the appetite. Your website might be finna blow up.
Well, we have a sample pack for $25, so they should definitely go and grab it.
Well, look, Valter, y'all keep talking. Now that I'm sitting here talking, I'm gonna go and get something out my refrigerator. I got to go look and see. Is this CBD oil I've been taking for real and not knowing it? I'm going to see for real.
So you got to go do that now?
Yeah.
So go ahead. So the tincture, right?
Uh-huh.
So it will not get you intoxicated.
No. It doesn't always just mellow you out. So there are two characteristics of the cannabis plant, sativa and indica, that most of the responses are kind of categorized in. And so with that said, your tincture, you should know whether it is a sativa dominant or an indica dominant based product, because that will determine the terpene profile, which really creates the mood that you'll receive from the cannabis consumption. And so if it's an indica based tincture, then it's going to help with insomnia. It's going to help with really muscle relaxation, more of an evening type of consumption. But if it's a sativa based tincture, such as our tinctures with WH Farms, it's great for morning, pre-workout, just to really get your day going and get you started. But it won't make you, it doesn't have psychoactive qualities and make you high.
It won't make you lethargic. So tell me something. What is your background?
So thank you for asking. So I actually spent about 18 years in commercial real estate development before transitioning into being a full-time fix and flipper and a licensed general contractor in Washington, D.C. So I'm familiar with building things. And I have also, prior, while I was in commercial real estate corporately, I worked to build a nonprofit organization in rural Eastern North Carolina to help send rural American kids out of the country to perform community service, give them exposure. And this was back in the early 2000s. So our organization was in existence for 10 years and made a lot of impact in the very area where we're growing cannabis now. So that part or the region of the state is very near and dear to me. And as a business leader, I've been contributing to that area for a number of years now. And I had a transition in 2015. I lost my father. And when my father transitioned, I went through a series of just depression and the functionality, attempting to function with grief as an entrepreneur was very, very difficult, especially flipping houses in one of the most expensive real estate markets in the country. And so I started to see a therapist and was diagnosed with delayed PTSD. And immediately they wanted to place me on a treatment plan that included medicines and additional therapy, and medicinal marijuana was legal in Maryland at the time, which is where I resided. And so I suggested that I wanted to do more research, go with more of a plant-based option. I was a DARE kid. I'm from the Bible Belt, from North Carolina. So I wasn't the kid that had a familiarity with marijuana prior to my mid-30s, quite frankly. However, when I decided to transition and not go with the prescription option, but more the plant-based option for the treatment of the mental health concerns, I just received a new lease on life. I didn't expect it to change my life the way that it did, but I was able to function. And, as a high-performing entrepreneur, being lethargic is never an option.
Right.
And so, all of the myths, the Beavis and Butthead theory that has been placed out through mass media, that's not the case. Cannabis consumption is so sophisticated now. You're able to literally choose strains so that you're able to identify the response that you desire. So think about being able to go to a pharmacy and it is a garden and you can say, oh, let me take this plant because this plant has a chemical composition and a terpene profile that will give me mood elevation and help relieve social anxiety. And think about the big meeting that you have to present at. And, thinking about all of these various lifestyle needs that you're able to accommodate using CBD, I think is phenomenal.
Wow. So it would make me awfully nervous if I took something, really, if I took something before a meeting, and I speak a lot. I speak a heck of a lot, but I'll be tremendously nervous. I'll probably freak out thinking about what I just took, so it'll take my focus off what I'm supposed to present.
But THC provides the paranoia, not CBD. That's not a quality of CBD.
So,
right.
in other words, Valton,
Yes.
do not be going when the brother pull up on the corner and handing you something out the window. Is what she's saying. Okay.
Don't go there.
Well, look,
Well,
Nicole, you made me being a nurse, and people need to think about this. I often tell people when you get a diagnosis, don't be so quick to accept the pill, the medication.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
for alternatives. Y'all, just so you know, I haven't been taking CBD oil. It's MCT oil, but it's so. But I'm
what's
gonna be
that?
looking into this.
Our
It's
tinctures are based in MCT oil and CBD.
they.
See,
It's like
Valerie?
they. It's like their distant cousin in a way.
So, so you've been going to work. So you've been going to work high, operating on people.
Well, no, I actually use
Valerie?
it in my. I use it in my coffee,
Oh Lord.
drinks, and different things.
So can you
And you
send
buy
this stuff legally across state lines?
Absolutely, it's federally legal, and so postal carriers and major carriers definitely transport. It's also internationally acceptable. You can actually send hemp derived CBD that has no THC or less than 0.2% THC to parts of Europe, as well as other parts of the world.
Now
well,
there's a
look. Let
truck
me.
that
Let me.
rides around in Birmingham with these big plants on it. I mean, have you seen it, Valerie? This dude
I
has
hadn't
like
seen them.
a box truck with all this hemp stuff on it. And you know, I stopped him one day. I said, "Hey man, what's this stuff you got?" He said, "I'm selling this CBD and this other stuff is hemp." I'm like, "Is this legal?" He's
So
like,
it's
"Yeah,
a food. So we have a hemp food truck in Birmingham. Pretty much what you're saying.
yeah." I mean, this dude
Look,
got a
Q
truck.
Nicole, I want to ask you this. I want to ask you this because you've shared some great information, and I can tell you are passionate about it as well. Now, how did all this come about? Did you like have a dream? Did you have a vision? Because I know for me, I went to Niagara Falls, Canada in 2018. And I was like, whoa. And we did a tour, and the bus driver, he said, and pretty soon we won't be making any more maple syrup, or we won't be making any more preserves, because people have been going to Canada just buying up the land to make hemp farms. So for those of y'all that love Canadian maple syrup, you better stockpile it. It may not be coming down the pipe no more.
But we're coming down the pipe with some hemp in it.
There it
So,
is. There it
so how
is.
did you come into this, going from flipping houses, real estate? Because that's two very Well, you told how you found, you got into using the CBD, but what made you decide, there's a niche here?
Business
Abs-
here.
yeah, thank you. I think that I am the type of business owner that's always I had been praying for I was praying for a way to sink all of my talent and skills into a life plan, a life mission. I think that I have a 100-year plan for WH Farms. We are
Mm.
building something that is going to go far beyond my lifetime. And I wanted a space to be able to do that. So I transitioned to North Carolina, married my husband in 2020 and relocated to Charlotte. And thank you. And when I realized that industrial hemp was federally legal and the farm bill had just opened in 2018, I decided that this would be the perfect business for me to cultivate and build in North Carolina. So I flipped a few homes and I said, you know what? I'm gonna jump into the cannabis industry. I had been researching it, traveling back and forth to California to just get a feel for it, just to be around it and get an understanding of how
Was you out there hanging with
cultivation was
Snoop
taking
Dogg? Was
place.
you out there with Snoop
Not
Dogg?
quite. I wasn't hanging with Snoop Dogg, but hopefully I was hanging with some of his growers. But I was watching a burgeoning industry. When I was paying attention to cannabis, the Bitcoin was under $4,000. It was at a time where the cannabis industry was really responsible for this Bitcoin and crypto mining, because it was the currency that they used to exchange prior to the farm bill. There was a
Okay.
lot of things happening, and it was opening up so big. And I was paying attention, and I said, I really don't want this generational shift in wealth to occur and we not fully understand and participate. When we think
Gotcha.
about the Kennedys and we think about going back generations, Grandpa Kennedy, he illegally created moonshine and whiskey, and that was how they underground built their wealth. And then when it became legal, then they were able to legitimize their wealth and their influence. So when you think about the cannabis industry, who has been promoting it for free other than our community all of these years? And so when you see the former Speaker of the House become one of the biggest consultants in the cannabis industry, and you see all of these other high profile politicians jumping behind this industry, then you recognize that they see what's happening and they know, and they're planting their flag and they're securing their generational wealth. And so with our farm, we wanted to not only represent African American legacy, but give other people a chance to plant their flag and create their generational wealth, because this shift is happening whether we participate or not. You can go to your grocery store, you can go to your local pharmacy, and you're going to see CBD products everywhere. And we have so many large celebrities that's jumping behind it to provide it with social proof. Beyonce did an entire Vogue spread to announce that she was launching a hemp derived honey and a CBD farm. So it's so much that's being said about it in this space and time.
So let me ask you this. I looked at your Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And I presume that's your husband.
Oh, I've been spicy over the last couple of days.
So I presume that's your husband on there, right?
It is.
With the red suit on.
That's my husband.
Is he a Kaplan?
Oh, he's Lord. Not. No, those are just our wedding colors.
I was just curious. I was gonna give him a shout out, but all right, never mind. So anyway,
I'm gonna edit that out.
Right. So tell me this: what is your educational background? Now we know about your working background, but you speak so fluently about everything, and it's so interconnected that you have to have something going on in the back other than real estate.
Yeah, I mean, let me say this. My educational background, I attended the University of Maryland in College Park, go Terps, and graduated with a business minor, and also studied abroad in Nice, France. I studied economics and other business, disciplines and concentrations as a student in Nice, France. And
so put a pin in right there. So to our listeners, you are listening to The Balance Down Show, Conversation is Art, and we have Nicole McNair, the serial entrepreneur, on here. But let me say this. You cannot just go out there and buy you a piece of property and turn some dirt and plant you a plant thinking you know what you're doing. You got to have some knowledge. So I'll tell you what, folks, you better listen in. Welcome again, Nicole.
I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of times people come to me and they say, how do I start a farm? How do I start a farm? And the truth of the matter is, if we follow what was said before the call, what's happening in the Canadian market, and how they're saying that maple syrup is not going to be their go-to commodity and exported product any longer, or soon, then what we have to notice is that what's causing the Canadian cannabis market to just blow up is the brand development. There are food brands, gummy brands, smokable brands that are being developed and consumed by just consumers, not businesses, but consumers. And that is what's creating the valuation and the real value in the cannabis industry. It's not the farms and the dispensaries. So if we pay attention to our Canadian neighbor and we're looking at the stock market, we're not seeing dispensaries on the Canadian stock market. We're not seeing farms on the Canadian stock market. What's going to happen in the United States? We're not going to see dispensaries and farms. It's all about brand building. And so we tell people, hear us clearly. We've invested the 6 figures into cultivating a farm. We love what we do, but we understand, and we are teaching you a better strategy. And that is to create a brand, cultivate it, develop and nurture customers, build that audience, grow it over time, and allow it to flourish and scale and grow as this industry grows. In real estate, I would teach clients how to invest in real estate as an investor. And I would always say, you want to find an emerging market. You want to be able to find the opportunity in a market where the government or the city may know in 5 years there's going to be a stadium. The city may know in 5 years they're going to add this major employer to the business district. But the community doesn't know yet. So those homes still have the highest upside value because you can purchase it at a low price point and be able to grow with it. And so that's what we've been teaching a lot of our clients is this is the way to get in the cannabis industry. There's states like Connecticut, where it's a $3 million investment to get started. Pennsylvania, $2 million investment to get started. Most of our community members don't have access to that type of capital. And most of our community members don't have the ability to make that hefty of a risk.
Right.
that would take out future generations in terms of debt, you know? And so we have to look at, how can I get started for less than $5,000? How can I purchase something that I can immediately turn back over into profit and begin to build revenue so that I can develop my proof of concept and then go out and raise money for the bigger thing, but not the startup?
So I have a question. So can we just send you $5,000 and invest, and then you're going to send us a check?
So no, we actually don't take investors that way. We actually aren't taking. We've actually been bootstrapping from the beginning, so we actually aren't opening up to investors yet. But I will tell you that we can take the $5,000 that you want to invest in yourself and help position you to be able to mobilize it in some way. But we will be taking investors in the future, and we'll be open at that time.
Well, look, Nicole, this is what I want to ask you. Let's talk about this farm.
Mm-hmm.
How many acres?
It's 5 acres.
5 acres.
Yes.
Okay.
And we also are part of a cooperative that has access to up to 200 acres.
Well, let me ask you this. How well do you know how well hemp grows in Alabama?
No, I don't. It's based on climate, though, based on the time of year that you're able to grow, and then also soil texture. So those type of components really help. It's a very, well, most plants are very aggressive in their feed, but hemp it grows very tall, it grows very big. It's not just a small plant. So I'm not sure about the climate and the soil.
Well, I grew up on a farm. I think our soil should be similar. I'm gonna have to look into this. Look, you got 5 acres. I got 12.
Okay,
So
there
let
you
me
go.
ask you a question. So if I'm flying high above and I'm Department of Agriculture, and I'm looking for the marijuana stem look like plant, right?
Mm-hmm.
What differentiates the hemp plant from the marijuana plant?
That's a good question.
Where we will not come down and uproot those and then go and arrest the person who has it?
The USDA license that's associated with our farm coordinates that gives us the ability to cultivate the plant. We can actually be tested at any time. Our license is actually on file with USDA as well as the Agriculture Department of North Carolina. We often are subject to random tests, and we've been working with them now for over 3 years. And so we've developed that type of rapport where they know what we do, what we grow, and how we are mobilizing it in the business community.
So pretty much, Q Nicole said, "Don't go out there and start playing your farm, okay?" And you ain't.
No, it's a very rigorous process. I think that we are in a season of, as Valton mentioned, like there's a lot of, when you notice things and you notice what people are doing, you say, you know what, I'm gonna go and do that very same thing. But there are a lot of behind the scenes considerations that just have to be made. This is still a very dicey industry. It's still a regulatory process that we submit to. It is very rigorous. It's very expensive. We've lost acres due to our chemical profile being too high with THC. So we have to immediately burn product. And so we've been able to, fortunately, because of businesses that I've built, we've been able to really grow through our growing pains, bootstrapped, and kind of learning from our mistakes in a way that hasn't noticeable. It hasn't been noticeable. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Just hasn't been noticeable, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. So I tell people all the time, don't look at social media and think that there's this hemp farm that's happening, and behind the scenes, we haven't just burned 2,000 pounds of cannabis that we now can't sell, because that's very real and we have to grow through that.
Right. So when you burn it, they said there's too much THC in it, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's effectively marijuana.
So when you burn it, you didn't have a party or anything?
They won't let you party. They won't let you stand too close. They won't let you just get something. No, we don't get to do all of that.
Well, okay, with that, so you got to control the amount of THC that's in your plant. So with that, keep it simple. How do you do that?
It's just our agricultural process. We've kind of cultivated an agricultural process that we know what drives the THC levels up. And so our farmers will make sure that they do the things that's necessary to constantly keep them where they feel like it should be at the lowest. We personally appreciate having very low THC levels in our products because we go through the full product development process and we're able to highlight our THC in certain products like our pain balm and other products that help. THC is known for pain relief. And so we can use it in a way because we develop products that kind of keeps us out of the red, which is great.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So is the scientist on your staff? I'm just curious, being that.
We do. We do have a chemist. We have a chemist who manufactures and formulates all of our products. Another phenomenal Black woman. And so I just love we've created an ecosystem. We have a board that is full of melanated queens, and we're just celebrating life over here, and we love our kings. We love our kings, but we do understand that this is a dicey space. And so we want to go in and make sure that we don't have any, we want our queens to be at front and center.
Wait a minute, Valton, look.
She want to plug and they get high.
Hey, look, Valton, look, I got to put this up. Look, this is my oldest sister, y'all. Really like my sister mom. Look, sis, we need to talk.
Yeah, she's going off the deep end, fella.
She talk about that 12. Look, you talked about generational wealth, okay? My parents were poor, but it was some land came available when I was growing up, right off of I-65 south of major interstate. And thankfully, my sisters and my brothers were grown and working. I'm 13, 14, and 18 years behind them, okay? So that's the age gap. Well, when my mom them said they want this land, which is just God that they got it, because I'm talking back in the 70s, where just some really, at that time, some late 40s, early 50s Black couple even got this land because there were white people that wanted the land too. The reason they could afford it, my siblings were able to help my parents pay for it. But my mom said this, she said, I'm not buying this to benefit us. She said, I'm buying this to benefit the generation. And we have a clause. We cannot sell the land. If we don't want our part, it has to go to somebody else, to the next. So that's what my sister is saying. And my mom said, and she prayed, she said, Lord, I'm believing that this land is going to be able to bless my family. So I get texts. I'm like, how these people got my number? You want to sell your land? So when people start inquiring about some land that's been there for years, then all of a sudden, people want to buy it. That's a telltale sign that something is about to go down, be it a big industrial explosion or something. So we're not going to sell it. So I got another friend. She's saying the same thing. We need to talk because we live in South Alabama and we grew up working in the fields. If y'all don't know what that is, what y'all saw roots and stuff, we had to do that to make money growing up. Yes, me at 56.5 years old, I picked cucumbers, potatoes. I bypassed the cotton field just because I was born a little bit too late. So I know what that type of work is, right? So we're going to talk.
What kind of soil is best to grow?
It depends on the cultivars. You have to really decide which strain. The cannabis industry is so sophisticated. I think that most people are just testing different strains and cultivars in various regions to see what really serves their clients best. And so there are ways to just kind of, get the agricultural understanding of what the capacity is based on what type of plant you would desire to grow.
Okay.
Yeah. There are multiple versions.
Do I need to get a chemist on board before I do this, or what's the first process?
Well, to launch a CBD brand or to start a farm?
To do it all. Ain't no
to be very fair, I think that it's very important to kind of understand what your goal is, because you are only going to be able to build out the company that you desire to sustain. So what we desired to do was to create a mission for other people to get started in the industry through launching their brands, and also to spread the magic of CBD worldwide through product development. So we are a seed to shelf operation, and we've invested, hundreds of thousands to make sure that happens, so that we're able to really provide not only just the product or the crop, but actual end product to people that they're able to really enjoy and get to know CBD.
Okay. That's wild. Right. This has been really interesting.
It has been.
And look, since I'm an avid reader, I love to read.
That's right. The blog, you should definitely go check out the blog on our website. It's very educational. It has a lot of great information.
Do you put that blog up, Valerie?
Yeah, I put it back in, but I put the form and I
really good. This has been really, really good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
And look, you all, you're not gonna be doing something to get rich quick overnight, you all. Okay.
We've had some great success stories. I want to tell people we've had people to make thousands of dollars in their first weekends. We had one federal government employee who literally launched a CBD brand to help moms relax during the pandemic. And within her first 2 weekends, she worked a Saturday and Sunday in her edible business. She made over $3,000.
Oh.
We've also seen people have 5-figure launches in their first 30 days. And the reason why is because cannabis is in demand. And again, people are looking for a ready to use product, something that they can easily put on their shelves, put in the rotation of their lifestyle so that they can start feeling the benefits. So it's a great opportunity. It's not a get rich quick by no means, but if you do have the desire and the ambition and the ability to follow instructions or to have the skill set to really follow a plan to get sales out, your family and friends will be your biggest supporters because most people around you are experiencing pain of some sort. And one of the biggest CBD benefits is pain relief.
And I'm thinking about mental health. We talked about ADHD, depression, and all those things. Whereas more often than not, if you go to the doctor, they're going to prescribe you something that's going to end up having you lethargic or could go to the other extreme, hyperactive, just depending on what it is.
Children? What about children using this product for ADHD?
Well, it's funny. It's great that you asked that. We have a number of clients who, because their kids are learning virtually, they actually offer them our THC-free gummies. So it's only a CBD broad spectrum product. It's 10 milligrams of CBD. And so we offer them a dosage guide, and it's really based on your weight. And so pets can take CBD products. Children can take CBD products. We've seen parents of toddlers give their children small amounts of CBD tincture to help with colic or to help with really getting them to relax and rest. And so again, our body is already producing these cannabinoids. And so CBD being reintroduced to our body through a product, it really is just merging with what we're already doing and helping our homeostasis to take place more organically.
So when my children were small and I wanted them to go to sleep, we give them Benadryl. So ladies and gentlemen, THC, this CBD oil is the new Benadryl. Go out and get yourself some. Right now from Nicole, you can get it on her website, www.whfarms.co.
Hey, look, you all, I'm gonna throw this out here. Look, this had to be in the Garden of Eden until Adam messed it all up and disobeyed. It was one of them plants that God created.
Who messed it up? Who messed it up?
Adam.
Eve was the one. Now you better read Genesis 3:18. Get it right, sister.
Adam is always the man.
Oh, you should have had some of that cute Nicole over there.
Well, look, our listening and watching audience, you all need to make sure you go to her website. I put it all in our chat. It's www.whfarms.co, not com, you all, .co.
Right.
Yep.
And you can be educated. Follow her on Facebook. She's at Q Nicole McNair or either at WH Farms Co. And I was laughing. She has some funny, hilarious, very interactive videos that she posts. I was laughing at the one about all these testimonies coming in. I thought that was really.
We have a team. Nice. They take me out of my comfort zone all the time. But any way to just convey the message, we're always excited about it. And please, your listeners, if you guys are open and interested in trying CBD products that are hemp derived, federally legal, some of them topical, some of them ingestibles, our sample pack is amazing. It comes with a sample of our pain balm, a sample of our body scrub, and a sandalwood fragrance, a sample of our cashmere vanilla body butter, a sample of our THC-free gummies, and it also comes with a pre-roll just in case you desire the fastest absorption.
Is that like a cinnamon roll, a pre-roll?
Wait a minute.
What the heck is a pre-roll?
Yeah, a pre-roll is a smokable cannabis product that's rolled in hemp paper, and it's also our industrial hemp sativa blend that's inside.
Wait a minute, Q Nicole. Let me tell you what I'm thinking about. You all, hemp derived CBD has just given competition to Bath and Body Works. That's when you were naming all those fragrances. That's what I was thinking about. Because
Yes.
Sandalwood.
I love body butters and all of that stuff. So, whew,
Wow.
this
This
is
make a
something.
nice gift.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to be
definitely.
educating
So what
myself
do you do
on
with a
this.
body scrub? What does a body scrub do with hemp though?
So a body scrub is actually great that you ask. It's 100 milligrams of CBD, and it's infused in a body scrub. That's an exfoliation technique that you can use in the shower or bath that helps with really exfoliating your skin. You'll notice that there will be a brightness and also a tightening with the CBD oil, and the CBD oil just really penetrates and helps with relaxation. So a lot of people use it before bed so they can sleep well. And it just is really great for just overall self-care. I think we all post-pandemic are walking around a little bit more stressed than normal.
Yeah.
And so all of these products, even our cashmere vanilla body butter that's in the sample pack, that body butter can be used in the middle of the workday. Just to, again, you asked, does it smell like cannabis? Nope, it smells like cashmere vanilla. And no one knows that you are using the cannabinoids and the CBD to really relax.
All right, well,
Wow.
my wife is listening. Hey, honey, do me a favor. Go ahead and get us some of that stuff. Um, and, don't give me the one with that roll in it, because you know I might put some flame on that sucker.
Val, I'm not fooling with you. This is
But really, LaSherie, listen up, baby. Go ahead and you got the card upstairs. Get us some of that stuff, and and we'll let you know how it goes. You
I'm
know,
telling you. I mean, Q Nicole, this has been absolutely
yeah, I've enjoyed.
amazing. I
I've enjoyed
really,
all of our guests over the years,
but
but
this
this
is.
has like been amazing.
I gotta
So
say
you know
this.
what? So you know what we ought to do, Val? We ought to get
What?
the mail. We ought to get the mail on here with Nicole.
Oh yeah, and hopefully
You know,
he's watching. If not, he'll
yeah,
watch later.
yeah.
We have a psychiatrist. We do a mental health um show once a month.
That's
And it'd
awesome.
be interesting to get his perspective
Yeah, yeah.
on it. Yeah, that would be
Absolutely.
great.
I
That
think
would
that'd
be
be cool.
great. Look, I
Yeah.
don't know. He may be out there ordering.
You know what I think we should do? Perhaps we should do that before July 4th, because if
Okay.
people want an alternative to getting high, but yet they still want to feel relaxed, they need to hear about the products and what she has, and whether
Getting high with the illegal.
yeah, right.
Well, and
Get it.
another benefit, if I may add, CBD and hemp is much healthier for the body than cigarettes. So if a
Yeah.
person's looking for a way to come away from cigarette smoking and transition into something that's actually healthier for your body, then hemp flower is one of the best considerations to make.
Okay. Okay. So in that I was almost call it a safety pack. What do you call it? The sweet pack or whatever?
Sample pack, our CBD sample pack.
Is there like some tea in there where you can brew it and drink it and stuff?
No, but you can always break down your pre-roll and make a small tea bag. You could always do that as well. But I will say that the decarbing process takes place in a better way, in like a vacuum
I
seal
see.
type environment. And it's through the decarbing that your cannabinoids are released. So you can't just take hemp flower and consume it and think that you're going to get the cannabinoids. There has to be this interaction to take place so that it opens up and releases and it becomes like flower throughout the plant.
All right,
Okay.
Dr. Nicole.
It's just, you learn all of these things. And as a consumer and an advocate, I'm just grateful for being able to educate people on how innocent. I tell people all the time, the plant is innocent. We've just seen one side of it and we've made the entire plant just
Right.
one, and we
Right.
really have to reintroduce it to our community. We
Yes.
have to reintroduce it to ourselves. When we think about being able to heal and to be able to live a quality life and not be stressed and have this health-based plant-based alternative, we want to share that with people so that they can come off of these chemicals and these plastic, medicines that are created over the counter that's really hurting us and not helping us.
Okay,
Well,
so one of our guests that's watching brought this up. What about if you need to be drug tested and you're in a profession that they do drug tests?
So
Will it
topicals,
test positive?
yep. So That's a great question. There are two different types there's so many versions and variations. So in the hemp industry, you either have a full spectrum product or a broad spectrum product. Full spectrum includes all of the cannabinoids. So THC, the legal limit, up to 0.3%, CBD, and all of the others. Broad spectrum is only CBD. So that's the first thing. So our gummies, which is an ingestible, is a broad spectrum product. It's only CBD. So there's no THC. You won't have any sort of issues with the drug test. Okay. All of the topicals are also, they don't show up in drug tests because again, they're not infused in your bloodstream. They don't show up in your urine. So you are safe with a full spectrum topical. Part of the reason why we sell our tincture separate from the sample pack is because it is a full spectrum tincture. It does have the legal traces of THC. So you would have to be mindful of that. And we make that disclaimer available to our clients. But the sample pack, you would be completely okay with the exception of the pre-roll. But I think that anyone should, if you're smoking any sort of cannabis product, you should know that there's going to be a trace of THC in any, it's in the plant naturally.
Okay, so break that down one more time. You said broad and full. Now, what was the difference between those?
Broad spectrum has no other cannabinoids other than CBD.
Okay.
And full spectrum has the host of cannabinoids.
And if you smoke the pre-roll,
it has less than 0.3% THC, but there is still the presence of THC. Yes, we put that disclaimer on the packaging.
But you still get a buzz.
No, not enough it doesn't have enough presence to have the psychoactive. What Mary Jane offers is about 40% THC.
Wow.
Yeah. Like between 20, we're talking gas, loud, we're up to 40%. If we're just in the Reggie category, we're 20%.
That loud smells so bad. I don't see how people smoke that stuff. Good Lord.
It's because of all of the indoor cultivation and so many variations are being made. And so that's what I think is creating that skunkiness and that musk, because it's really the terpene profile that actually gives it that fragrance. All of what you're smelling are terpenes, which are also naturally occurring, but it's just the way that it's manipulated when it's cultivated. It's an entire world.
You're right. It seems like you have harnessed it. You have harnessed the knowledge of this world. Wow.
Well, I enjoy my business.
We have enjoyed our conversation tonight.
Definitely.
With Dr. Q Nicole McNair.
And I think this is the most artful conversation we have had. Right. And just so you know, Q Nicole, if you had a chance to look at it, we started out during the pandemic as a platform to give artists that could not perform, mainly singers, musicians and things. So we did that for a year, and Valton and I really thought like, okay, everything's opening up. This is over, but we're in year 2 now. Yeah. So we decided to expand our platform to include other things in addition to the outside of music.
Awesome.
So we're just trying to we just having fun and on these Thursday nights and just learning a lot. So I love it.
I love it. Like you. Well, that's awesome. I have a music tip then. Louis Armstrong was a very big cannabis consumer, and he used to tell people that he would not perform unless they allowed him to smoke on stage. So again, someone who was always on the road performing, providing excellence. It's really to show that this plant has been categorized incorrectly. And we have to really look at it differently with a fresh set of eyes. So I thank you guys for allowing me to share your platform.
Well,
thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Yes. Well, Valton, you want to take us out?
Yeah, so I want to say one thing as it relates to your business. I hope everything works out well. And we are definitely going to reach out to you to get you and Dr. DeMel Coleman on together so we can have that conversation.
Okay.
Definitely.
Helps the mental aspects of people, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's been great. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have enjoyed, as have we, my first time back in 2 weeks since being away. Conversation is art. And Valerie, I got to give you another shout out, girl. You held it down while I was gone. Not that you needed me, because I peeked in and checked out, make sure you were doing what you were supposed to be doing. But anyway, you handled your business, and I'm thankful for you.
I need you. I'm just Val. I'm not Val and Val.
Yeah,
without you.
I hear you. But we have enjoyed you so much. Do you go by Q Nicole or just Nicole?
Q Nicole McNair on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me online. So Q or Q Nicole is fine.
All right, Q. All right, Q. We've enjoyed you tonight, and thank you again for taking the time out and spending an hour of your evening with us. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, and in our world of Val and Val, the conversation is art. We are so glad you have tuned in. I see you, Floyd, Cynthia Lashri, and all the others. Rita Gully, Fayetta, we see you. We see you. We love you. And check us out next week because we have another dynamic show lined up.
Oh, let me tell. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me tell them who that is.
Yeah.
Look, you all, next week we have coming to the stage one of our own.
Who we got?
Miss Kim Scott.
We have Kim, the flautist.
And look, in case you all don't know, she has an album that's been released. Baby, you need to go to the streaming platforms and download. Stop bootlegging everything off YouTube. These people have to pay to get this stuff done. Y'all know this my spiel every week.
Yep.
These musicians and artists, they have to pay. So please check out Kim's new. So we're going to say good night. Y'all rest well. And Q Nicole, you hang on while we end this stream. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. Peace.